Okay guys, so here we are with our last and final lab of AZ-104 course, which is Implement Monitoring. This is the lab number 11 and it's going to take approximately 1 hour, which is mentioned here, but we will be able to complete this thing in maybe 30 minutes. I'm going to click on the download lab files. I have already logged in into my lab environment. Inside this, I have to associate with my Cloud Slice subscription, so I'm going to log in with this subscription very soon. Let's just check whether the lab files are available or not. Yes, I think it is done. And let me check inside the F drive. I will have my lab files available. So I'm going into this PC F drive. Yes, I think this is the one which is having all the lab files. We are going to use lab number 11 files, which is nothing but a JSON template. So that's perfectly fine. Let me open my Edge browser. I'm going to log into Azure portal with my lab user. Yes, we have successfully logged in into Azure portal. Now it's the time. We'll move forward and we'll follow the instructions. In this lab scenario, we are first going to focus on the architectural diagram. As you can see here, this is one of the lab which is actually having multiple tasks inside that. First, we are going to use a template to provision our virtual machine. So we are going to create one virtual machine actually with this kind of a name. Once that is there, because we are focusing on monitoring, we want to create an alert configuration whenever the virtual machine is going to be deleted. Then we are going to create another action which is going to send an email. So alert and action both are going to be used in this. We are also going to focus on triggering an alert in the task number 4, where we are going to trigger an alert and we are going to confirm that the alerts are actually working. Finally, in the task number 5 and 6, we are going to configure alert processing rules, and we are going to focus on monitoring the log queries. The 6 tasks are important for infrastructure monitoring, so let's just start with this. In the task number 1, we are already there inside our Azure portal, so it's just asking me download the files from this particular lab file. We did that. Sign into Azure portal, that is also done. Let's start with deploy a custom template. I'm going to choose build your own template in the editor. And then I'm going to click on load file, and I'm going to choose my file from F drive, lab number 11, and this is my template. Once the template is loaded, we are going to click on save. This is the template which is having a virtual machine creation inside that. And what exactly we are going to do is we are going to choose our resource group. Now we do not have this resource group actually, so we are going to create a new resource group with the name which is suggested inside the lab. This is lab 11, so for that we have RG11. Region we are going to choose East US. Username we are going to provide local admin, and password I'm going to give my secure password. All those things are fine. It's going to have some kind of a VM name prefix, public IP name prefix, network interface card name prefix. So all the things are fine. We don't need to change anything inside that. We'll just click on review plus create. And if the validation pass, we will click on create, which is going to create our virtual machine. Yes, validation pass. I'm going to click on create. Let's wait for this deployment to be completed. Yes, my deployment is completed. Now it's the time. We are going to click on go to resource, and we are going to observe that this resource group is actually having multiple things. It has virtual machine, network interface card, public IP, NSG, virtual network, and we also have one storage account which is associated with this. All these resources will be useful in our next step, so let's focus on the next part. In this portal, we are going to select and search for monitor, and then inside the monitor, we want to focus on virtual machine insights box. So let me just go to Azure Monitor, which is here. In the left side section, insights, we have virtual machine insights, which is this. And inside that, we have an option for configure insights. Now, when we see our virtual machines, you can see this is the only virtual machine which we have in this particular subscription right now. So for this virtual machine, I want to enable the virtual machine insights. I'll click on enable, and I'll click on enable once again. Now this is showing me that in order to configure monitoring for this, we have to choose our subscription and the data collection rule which is getting configured with this. Remember, with this it's actually going to create a Log Analytics Workspace also, which is having a name like this, and then it's going to have a Log Analytics Workspace configuration with this one. I'm okay with all this. I'm going to click on configure. This configuration will take few minutes, and then it's actually going to configure virtual machine agents to install and configure for the next step. So let's just wait for this to configure. Yes, you can see it's showing me deployment succeeded, so this is perfectly fine. Now we are going to go back to our monitor, so I'm going to close this. We are inside the monitor, and this is the time we are going to focus on alerts. In the alert configuration, you can see that it's showing me 3 different alerts which are configured here. Now it's obviously because of my virtual machine, and it happened because we configured insights. I'm going to continue with my alerts, and I'm going to create a new alert rule inside this. So let me click on create a new alert rule. While creating alert rule, we have to choose a specific scope first. So in this case, this alert is going to be applied to a particular virtual machine, and that's what I'm going to choose here. In this case, I'm going to choose my resource group, and I'm going to choose my virtual machine, and I'm going to click on apply. Then I'm going to click on next, which is going to take me to conditions. In the signals, we are going to select a signal, so let me click on see all signals. I'm going to search for a signal which is delete virtual machines as per the instruction, and I'm going to select that. Now once you select this delete virtual machine kind of a signal, notice that the other built-in signals are also there, so we can choose that one also. I'm just choosing this one, and then I'm going to focus on the next one, which is actions. Also, just make sure that when you do this thing, there is a section called alert logic. In this alert logic, we have event level section, and then we have a configuration available here. So in the event level, I'm just choosing all selected. So even it's a critical, error, warning, whatever events are there, we are selecting all of them. So we are not changing anything here. I'm going to click on next. This is a section where actually we can configure action also. So we can actually configure the action configurations here. So let's just scroll down. So create alert route configuration is having an action configuration with that. In this, we have options here that whether you want to use a quick action or you want to use an action group. Now, in my case, I'm going to click on action group configuration actually. So when we are going to configure with this, I'm going to choose action group. I'm going to click on create an action group. In the basics tab of this action group creation, I'm going to choose that this is going to be inside the same resource group. The region is going to be global. Action group name, I'm specifying alert the operation team, and then the display name I'm going to give alert ops team. It can be anything, whatever we want. We'll click on next. In the notification, I'm going to choose email, SMS, or push notification, and I'm going to provide a name of this, which is like VM was deleted. To whom we want to send this email? Well, I want to send an email to myself, so I'm just providing my email ID here, and then I'm going to click on OK. Once this is done, we are going to click on next, next, review plus create, and that means that the action is actually going to be created. So this action group is going to be created with this. Now we are moving forward to next thing, which is actually talking about triggers and alert and confirm it is working. But in that case, first we need to go to the details. Resource group configuration is fine. Action is configured, which is also fine. I'm just going to click on review plus create. In the detail, it's showing me some error. Okay, alert rule name we have to give. Let me specify an alert rule name. So this is my delete VM alert rule. I'm just giving this kind of a name, and then we'll click on next, review plus create, and then we'll click on create.
Hey guys, sorry for interruption. My name is Maruti and I'm here to make a very important announcement. I hope you are liking our videos and you're doing a continuous learning with us on an Azure Cloud and AI related topics. If you are enjoying this thing, I'm going to announce skilltech.club, which is our upcoming website, which is going to be launched very soon. We are here to tell you one thing, that everyone who is a subscriber of this particular channel will get Azure Cloud and Azure AI related certification courses free of cost in skilltech.club. So you will be a part of the skilltech.club kind of a membership automatically free of cost. And everyone who's a subscriber of this particular channel will get those benefits which are available in that. So what are you waiting for? I request you to please subscribe to this channel and share it with your friends and families if they are also interested in Azure Cloud and AI learning. That's it from my side. Now you can carry on with your learning. Thank you.
Now you can see this alert rule is successfully created, and That's why this is showing me the green tick here. It's the time we have to move forward. So we are just going to go to the task number 4 now, where we want to trigger an alert and we want to confirm it is working or not. In order to do that, I'll go back to my virtual machines. So I'm going to click on virtual machines. I'll go into my AZ-104 VM0, and then I'm going to select the delete from the menu bar. So this is the delete option. It's showing me here that, are you sure you want to delete this thing? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to check box this, which is apply force delete, and then I've read the agreement, kind of understand what this is going to do, and then I'm going to click on delete. When I do this delete, actually in this title bar, it's going to show me a notification that VM is going to be deleted. Now I have to wait for this till it is showing me that it is successfully deleted. Remember, we should receive a notification email which is going to show me that yes, this virtual machine is actually deleted. So we are just going to wait for this. We have to this point. Yes, you can see it's showing me successfully deleted the virtual machine. And this time, if I check my email address, in that email I should open my email in whatever I have given in that, and then I should have received the email which is Azure no reply at microsoft.com, and in that they are actually going to show me that whether this particular virtual machine is deleted or not. Let me just quickly check this thing in my email right now. I do not want to open my email in this particular lab environment, but I'm just going to check my email separately. Yes, I have received an email, and that is exactly showing me this kind of details inside that. I'm happy with this. I'm moving forward to the next step, which is Azure Portal Resource Menu, and I'm going to focus on the alerts. So let me go back to Monitor again. And in the Monitor, I'm going to click on Alerts. Inside the alerts, we have the alerts configuration, which is showing me that total 3 alerts are there. And you can see it's showing me you should have 3 verbose alerts that were generated by deleting the VM. So that is actually something which is showing me here. Now, it can take few minutes for the alerts email to be sent and for the alerts to be updated in the portal. So if you don't want to wait for this, you can continue to the next task. Now, I can wait here and I can just wait for this new alerts which are getting associated with this delete VM kind of thing. These 3 alerts which are visible here are not the same one, because this is something which is, you can see VM was deleted, VM was deleted. This is the same one which we have triggered. So this is the one which is showing me that this particular alerts are actually triggered, which is perfectly fine. Now we are going to select the name of one of the alerts. For example, VM was deleted, and then we're going to see the alerts detail page. So let's say I'm choosing the first one, and the moment I click on that, it's going to show me a details page of this, which is actually going to show me the details about that particular event. The alert condition is fired. It's showing me the details about that. So if I click on the additional details, it's showing me the details about which subscription, which virtual machine was there, and then what kind of an alert ID which is generated with that, the alert rule which we have configured for this, and at what particular time of date it is actually fired. Now this is all something which is configured here, and you can also check the history association with that. My alert is working fine. VM was deleted and it looks good. Now let's focus on the task number 5, which is configure an alert processing rule. In order to do this thing, I will go back to my alert section. So I'll close all this. I'll go back to the alerts blade, and here we are going to click on this section, which is alert processing rules. I'm going to click on create. We are creating alert processing rule, in which I'm going to choose my resource type and the configuration with my subscription. Now you can see in this case, in the instructions, they are showing me that when you configure an alert processing rule, you select your subscription and then you select apply. Next, we can specify the rule settings for this. Now, because I do not have a virtual machine, I'm going to choose my whole subscription here, and then I'm going to click on apply. Then it's giving me a configuration for this, where I have to specify scope, rule settings, scheduling, and all those things. Now this is a scope, which is actually my subscription. So I'm just clicking on next, which is rule settings. In the rule settings configuration, I'm going to choose suppress notification. So remember, this is saying that the alert will still fire, but the action group won't be invoked. So you won't receive any notification when the alert is actually fired. So I'm just going to do suppress notification, that I want to schedule this thing at a specific time. In this, I'm going to specify the starting time, ending time kind of a configuration. Now let's say for today's date, which is 8th of May, I'm going to choose a time which is, let's say, 10 p.m. So I'm going to specify 10 and I'm going to specify p.m. And then the end is actually tomorrow state, so I'm going to start with this tomorrow state, and then I'm going to specify this is going to be, let's say, 7 a.m. As per the instructions, I'm just following this. Time zone, we are going to choose my local time zone, so it's going to be India, so I'm going to choose plus 5:30, which is here, and then I'm going to click on next, and this is a page which is showing me detail section. In the detail section, we are just going to choose our same resource group in which this processing rule will be configured. The rule name and the description I'm giving as per the instructions. So this is something for a plant maintenance during this particular one. It's going to create a surprise notification during the plant maintenance. So it's actually going to combine all the things and it's going to give it to me. I'm going to click on review plus create and create. So basically, surprise notification is also configured now. Task number 5, which is configuring an alert processing rule, is also something which is done. Once you're done with all these things, obviously you can refresh here and your processing rule will be visible and you can see the status is enabled. So this is going to be executed at that specific time. Obviously, we're not going to wait for the couple of hours for this, but yeah, it's going to work accordingly. Let's move to the task number 6, which is use Azure Monitor log queries. In this case, I'll go back to my monitor, and inside the monitor, I want you to focus on the log section. When we have a log section, it's directly giving me a pop-up like welcome to Log Analytics. I just don't want this pop-up. I'm going to close this, and this is going to take me to the section where I can choose my subscription and I can click on apply. So I can just get the logs associated with the subscription. Once I do this, I'm getting a page which is actually showing me a query history kind of a section here. Now in this case, this is my queries tab. So you can see that I've selected my subscription. Now in the queries tab, we are going to select our virtual machine in the left pane. So in this configuration, I'm going to select virtual machines. Sorry, I'm going with logs. Okay, there's something wrong with my UI actually. That's the reason it is not showing me here. I'm just going to do control minus, and in the simple mode and KQL mode, I think simple mode is fine. Now somehow this is not showing me this here. Query history, queries. Yeah, I think this is a queries which is there. And then we have virtual machines. This is the one which is talking about. So this is the one which is actually virtual machines, which we have to select in the left side panel. Now after this, we are going to review the queries which are available to run. So you can see we have something which is agent latency, bottom 10 free disk space or something like that is there. Now in this configuration, I'm going to focus on count heartbeats query. So let me see, this is a count heartbeats query. And the moment I click on this, this is going to show me a count heartbeats query association with this. This is going to load this here. So this is my count heartbeats query. Now remember, I went to this, I selected this. I can also click on the run option here. So when I click on the run, it's actually going to create a run query associations with this, and it's going to run the query. You can see it has executed the query second time also now, and it's showing me the heartbeats of this count was actually 3. Now once we do this thing, you should receive a heartbeat count for which the virtual machine was actually running. We already deleted the virtual machine, so obviously it is not here, but based on the logs, we are actually able to see that thing. Now we can review the query. This query was used to configure the heartbeat table. So this is something which is a query configuration. Now I'm going to move to the KQL mode because I want to see the query properly. And when I move to the KQL mode, you can see it's showing me the heartbeat kind of a query which is available here. Now this is a query which we have executed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this query with my kind of a query. So I'm just going to change this. I don't want this query. Instead of that, I'm going to add this query, which is adding here my kind of an insight metrics with the where condition and all. Now somehow when I'm using this lab environment, the formatting is something which is not proper. So let me just correct this. I think now this query looks perfectly fine. We have the configuration. Now this is my new query which I have done actually. So as we have time, we can review other queries also, but let me just run this one first. This is going to show me a time generated with this graph. So you can see it's showing me the graph associated with this utilization percentage. So starting from this to the end, it's actually showing me the chart which is associated with this. You can also see the result, which is showing me the virtual machine configurations with that. And basically we didn't run this thing for a longer period of time, so we just have 2 points in this graph which they are just connecting with this. Now you can try different queries with this left side query section for the virtual machine, and then you can play along with that. this is it. Again, we are not going with in-depth with KQL queries right now, but yes, if you want a separate video on KQL queries or the more detail about analytics and monitoring, you can just put a comment in this particular video and we will create a separate video for you. That's it for this. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in the next video.